Joan Park sat alone in the quiet mess hall of Outpost Sigma 7. The space station hummed softly around him. 5 years had passed since he first put on the gray uniform of the Human Defense Force. 5 years since he had left Earth behind. He stared at his meal, standard military protein pack with vitamin supplements. The food reminded him of nothing from home. Maybe that was good. Home held too many bad memories. His wristcom beeped. A message from Earth. June frowned. His parents called every 2 weeks, like clockwork. This wasn't their day. He tapped the screen. His sister Neri's face appeared. Her eyes were red. She had been crying. "June," she said, "I need your help." Something cold moved through June's chest. He had not seen his sister cry since he left for basic training. "What's wrong?" he asked. "It's school. Green Hill High." Neri looked over her shoulder, as if checking no one could hear her. "Remember the kids who hurt you. Te, Dai, and Suk are their younger brothers and sister. They run the school now." June's hand tightened around his fork. Green Hill High. The place where he had spent 4 years in fear. The place he had promised never to think about again. "They're worse than when you were here," Neri continued. "They have tech, June. Alien tech from the war. They're stronger, faster. The teachers are scared of them." "Have they hurt you?" June asked, his voice flat and cold. Neri touched her shoulder, winced. She didn't need to answer. "I'll come," June said. After the call ended, June sat motionless. The mess hall seemed colder now. Around him, other soldiers talked and laughed. None of them noticed the storm building inside him. He walked to the command center. Colonel Hannah Kim was reviewing battle plans on the main screen. June waited until she acknowledged him. "Lieutenant Park," she said, "what can I do for you?" "Request permission for emergency leave, Colonel. Family situation." Colonel Kim studied his face. She had led June through 3 major battles against the Kryvax forces. She had seen him hold position when others retreated. She had never seen him ask for anything personal. "The Kryvax are pushing at the Proxima border," she said. "We may need every soldier if they break through." "I understand, Colonel." Colonel Kim turned back to her battle plans. June stood at attention, waiting to be dismissed. "You know," she said suddenly, "I've always wondered what made you such a good tactical fighter, Park. Most soldiers run from danger. You always seem to know exactly where to position yourself." "Just training, Colonel." "No." She turned to face him fully. "It's experience. Someone who's spent years avoiding threats develops instincts. Someone who's had to watch their back every day knows how to anticipate attacks." Jun said nothing. "Your file says you enlisted the day after high school graduation," Colonel Kim continued. "Perfect timing to escape something. Or someone." She tapped her screen. "Leave granted, Lieutenant. 2 weeks. But I want you back when it's done." "Thank you, Colonel." As he turned to leave, she added, "Park, whatever you're going home to face, remember your training. Sometimes the best way to win isn't through direct confrontation." "With respect, Colonel, sometimes it is." In his quarters, Jun packed light. Standard civilian clothes. His service medals, 3 silver stars, 2 purple hearts. The small knife he always carried, even against regulations. He looked at himself in the mirror. At 22, his face was harder than it should be. A thin scar ran across his left cheek, a reminder of the Battle of Europa. His eyes were different now, steady, watchful. No one would mistake him for the scared boy who had once roamed the halls of Green Hill High. June boarded the transport ship that would take him back to Earth. As the station grew smaller behind him, he closed his eyes. He was going back to the only battle he had ever run from. And this time, he would not run. The transport ship landed with a soft thud. June stepped onto Earth soil for the first time in 3 years. The gravity felt strange, heavier than the artificial pull of Outpost Sigma 7. The air smelled different too. Clean. No recycled oxygen here. His hometown had changed. New defense towers rose above the trees. Sleek and silver, they scanned the skies for any sign of Kryvac ships. The war had touched every corner of Earth. June walked past a settlement on the edge of town. Dome-shaped houses clustered together. Refugees from Proxima Centauri lived there now. Their world had fallen to the aliens 2 years ago. An old truck waited at the station. His father sat behind the wheel. "Son," Mr. Park said, his voice thick. He did not try to hug June. He just looked at him for a long moment, taking in the changes, the scars, the hardness in his eyes. "Dad," June replied. He put his bag in the back and climbed in. They drove in silence through town. June noticed more changes. The old movie theater was now a supply depot. The park had been turned into a training ground. Children played war games there, practicing for a future they might face. Home was the same. 2 stories, white walls. The garden his mother loved was still there, but smaller now. Food gardens took priority these days. His mother waited at the door. Unlike his father, she did not hold back. She wrapped June in a tight hug. "My son," she whispered. "My brave son." June hugged her back. She felt smaller than he remembered. "Where's Neri?" he asked. "In her room. She came home from school with a bruise on her arm." Again. His mother's eyes flashed with anger. Those children, their parents do nothing. June climbed the stairs to Neri's room. The house was so familiar it hurt. Here was the wall where he had measured his height each year. There was the spot where he had once hidden from the bullies when they followed him home. He knocked on Neri's door. "Go away, Mom. I'm fine." "It's me," June said. The door flew open. Neri stood there, eyes wide. At 16, she looked so much like their mother, except for the dark bruise on her arm and the fear in her eyes. "You came," she whispered. "I came." She pulled him into her room and shut the door. Her tablet lay on the bed. She picked it up and tapped the screen. "You need to see this," she said. Videos played. School hallways, classroom corners, the gym when teachers weren't looking. 3 teenagers moved through the school like they owned it. 2 boys, one tall and thin, one built like a tank. One girl with cold eyes and a colder smile. "Tai, Dai, and Suk," Neri explained. "Their older brothers and sister made your life hell. Now it's my turn." Jun watched the videos carefully. He noticed something odd. The way Ta moved, too fast sometimes. How Da lifted a student against a locker with one hand, too strong for a teenager. "Pause that," he said. Zoom in on Ta's wrist. The image expanded. A thin metal band wrapped around the bully's wrist. Blue light pulsed beneath it. "Alien tech," Jun said. "Military grade. Reflex enhancers. They're illegal outside combat zones." "They have more," Neri said. "Strength amplifiers, sensory boosters. They get them from their parents." "And what do their parents do now?" Jun asked. "They run Nova Defense Corp, the biggest military contractor in town. After the first Kryvax attack, they got rich selling modified alien tech to the human defense force." Jun's eyes narrowed. Stolen tech, the kind soldiers die to capture. That night, after dinner, Jun stood at his bedroom window. Outside, defense towers swept the sky with blue lights. In the distance, the Nova Defense Corp building glowed against the night. The door opened behind him. His father stepped in. "I should have protected you better," Mr. Park said. "When you were in school, when they hurt you." Jun didn't turn around. "It doesn't matter now." "It does. You joined the military because of them, because you wanted to be strong." "I joined to protect people." His father placed a hand on his shoulder. "And now, why did you come back?" Jun finally turned. "To finish what I started. To make sure Neri doesn't live in fear like I did." "Be careful, son. These are not just children anymore. Their parents have power now." "So do I," Jun said, I'm not the same person who left here. That night, Jun dreamed of alien battlefields and high school hallways. In his dreams, they looked exactly the same. Morning came too soon. Jun woke before sunrise, a habit from his military days. He dressed in plain clothes, dark pants, a simple gray shirt, nothing that would draw attention. I'm going to the school today, he told his parents at breakfast, as part of the veteran outreach program. His mother looked worried. Is that wise? Those children will recognize your name. Let them, Jun said. He ate quickly, the way soldiers do. I need to see the situation firsthand. Green Hill High stood unchanged. Same brick walls, same wide steps leading to the front doors. Jun paused at the bottom of those steps. 5 years ago, he had walked out of those doors for the last time, bruised and alone. He took a deep breath and climbed the steps. Inside, the school buzzed with activity. Students moved through the halls like schools of fish. Loud, fast, always in motion. Jun felt old among them, though only 5 years separated him from his own school days. The main office looked the same too. The secretary glanced up at him. Can I help you? Lieutenant Jun Park, Human Defense Force. I'm here for the Veteran Outreach Program. Her eyes widened slightly at his name. Of course. Principal Du is expecting you. Principal Du's office was larger than Jun remembered. The man himself was smaller, balding now, soft around the middle. His handshake was weak. Lieutenant Park, a pleasure to have one of our graduates return as a war hero. I'm no hero, Jun said, just a soldier. Of course. Principal Du gestured to a chair. What can Green Hill High do for the Human Defense Force today? I'd like to observe some classes, talk to students about military service, walk the halls between periods. Principal Du's smile faltered. The halls? I'm not sure that's necessary. It is, Jun said firmly. I want to see how students interact when teachers aren't watching. Principal Du's eyes narrowed slightly. Your sister is a student here, isn't she? Nari Park. Yes. I've heard she's having some adjustment issues, problems with other students. That's one way to put it, Jun said coldly. Principal Du leaned forward. Lieutenant, let me be clear. Green Hill High has a reputation to maintain. During wartime, we provide stability, structure. We can't have outside elements disrupting that. I'm not here to disrupt anything, Jun said. Yet. He spent the morning moving through the school. Each classroom brought back memories. Here was where they had knocked his books to the floor every day. There was where they had cornered him after chemistry class. Between third and fourth periods, he saw them. 3 teenagers stood at the end of a hallway. Students flowed around them like water around rocks, giving them space, avoiding eye contact. Tai was tall and lean like his older brother had been. The same sharp face, the same cruel smile. The blue light of alien tech pulsed at his wrist. Day was built like a tank, broader even than his brother had been at that age, his neck thick with muscle. A faint glow showed beneath his shirt collar, strength amplifiers embedded in his skin. Suk was the most disturbing. Cold eyes watched the crowd. A slight smile played on her lips. No visible tech, but Jun noticed how she tilted her head sometimes, listening to sounds others couldn't hear. Sensory enhancers. As Jun watched, a smaller student tried to hurry past. Ta's hand shot out, impossibly fast. The boy froze. Tax time, Ta said. Pay up. The boy handed over his lunch credits. Ta laughed. Jun remained still, observing, cataloging. In war, knowledge of the enemy was the first step to victory. After school, he found himself in the science wing. A classroom door stood open. Inside, an old man sorted through papers. Mr. Sun. The teacher looked up. Recognition dawned on his face. Jun Park, he said softly. I didn't think you'd ever come back here. Neither did I. Mr. Sun studied him. You've changed, Jun. I see it in your eyes. Jun stepped into the classroom. The school hasn't changed much. No, same dynamics, different players. Mr. Sun pulled out a tablet. I've been documenting it. The bullying, the extortion, the blind eye turned by administration. He showed Jun videos, similar to Nari's, but more extensive. Times, locations, patterns. Why haven't you taken this to Principal Du? Jun asked. Mr. Sun sighed. Do you know who Ta's father is? Mr. Han runs Nova Defense Corp now. Half the town works for him. The other half relies on his contracts. His donations built the new gym. So everyone looks the other way. Everyone except me, Mr. Sun said. And now you. Jun looked at the classroom door. I need to know everything about them. Their routines, their weaknesses. This isn't a war, Jun. Yes, it is, Jun said quietly. It always was. Jun knew he couldn't win this fight alone. In the defense force, no soldier fought without a team. He needed allies. The next day after school, Jun waited in the parking lot. He watched as most students left, rushing home before dark. Defense curfew started at sunset these days, but some students stayed. The ones with nowhere better to go. The ones who found safety in empty classrooms rather than outside them. Jun followed a small group to the science lab. They didn't notice him at first. They were too focused on something on the lab table. It's definitely military grade, a boy said, poking at a small device. But the power source is fried. Can you fix it, Jin? Asked a girl. Maybe, if I had the right tools. Jun stepped into the room. You need a plasma cutter for that. All three teenagers jumped. The boy named Jin quickly covered the device with his hand. Who are you? The girl demanded. Her accent was strange, the rounded vowels of someone who grew up on a colony world. Jun Park, Nari's brother. The third student, a quiet boy with watchful eyes, nodded slowly. The soldier. Yes. Jin studied him. Why are you here? Same reason you're taking apart alien tech after school. To stop Tai and his gang. The three students exchanged looks. Finally, the girl spoke. I'm Hai. My family came from Mutera after the Kryvax took it. She nodded toward Jin. His parents died in the Proxima evacuation. And that's Bo. He doesn't talk much, but he sees everything. Bo held up a tablet. On it was a detailed map of the school. Red dots moved along the hallways. He's been tracking them, Hai explained. Every movement, every pattern. For self-preservation, Bo said softly. Jun looked at the device on the table. Where did you get that? Jin hesitated. Found it. In the trash behind the gym. It's a reflex enhancer. Like what Tai wears, but broken. You're trying to understand how it works, Jun said. Not a question. Know your enemy, Jin replied with a shrug. That's military thinking. This is war, Jin said. Just a different kind. Jun smiled for the first time since coming home. My commanding officer would like you. That night, they gathered in the Park family garage. Jun had converted it into a makeshift command center. Maps of the school covered one wall. Photos of Ta Da and Suk covered another. In the defense force, we survived by knowing our enemy better than they knew themselves, Jun explained. We'll do the same here. He pointed to the photos. Tell me everything. Hai spoke first. Ta is the leader. His father runs Noah Defense. The alien tech comes through him. Da is the muscle. Bo added. Not very smart. Follows Ta's orders without question. And Suk is the worst, Jin said. She watches, listens. Find your weaknesses. Jun nodded. What about their tech? Jin pulled out his tablet and showed detailed scans. Ta uses reflex enhancers. Makes him faster than any human should be. Da has strength amplifiers grafted to his major muscle groups. And Suk. Sensory enhancers, Jun finished. I noticed. Yes, she can hear conversations from across the cafeteria. See in near darkness. What about weaknesses? June asked. Hai smiled. All tech has weaknesses, especially stolen tech. She pulled up schematics. The reflex enhancers overheat if used continuously for more than 2 minutes. The strength amplifiers drain body energy. Dai needs to eat constantly to maintain them. And the sensory enhancers can be overloaded. Good, Jun said. Very good. Bo, who had been quiet, finally spoke. But we can't fight them directly. They're still too strong, too protected. We won't fight them directly, Jun said. Not at first. He laid out a rough plan. First, they would document everything. Build a case too strong to ignore. Second, they would develop countermeasures for the alien tech. And third, they would find more allies. No war is won by 4 people, Jun said. 5, came a voice from the door. Neri stood there, arms crossed. I'm not sitting this out. It's my fight too. Jun looked at his sister, saw the determination in her eyes, the same determination he had found in himself on the battlefield. 5 then, he agreed. As the others left, Jin paused at the door. Why are you doing this? You got away. You could have stayed away. Jun looked at the photos on the wall. Because running doesn't end a war. It just postpones it. That night, they began to plan their first strike. Word spread quickly through Green Hill High. Someone was watching Tai and his gang. Someone was gathering evidence. Someone was fighting back. Tai didn't like it one bit. Find out who's helping Nari Park, he told Dai and Suk at lunch. Make them stop. Suk tilted her head, her enhanced hearing picking up conversations across the cafeteria. People are talking about her brother, the soldier. Ta stabbed his fork into his food. I don't care if he fought aliens. This is our school. That afternoon, Neri found her locker hacked. Personal messages from her tablet played on every screen in the hallway. Students laughed, pointed, whispered. June found her crying in an empty classroom. They took everything, she said. Private conversations, photos. They broadcast it to the whole school. June's face hardened. This ends now. He marched toward Principal Du's office, but stopped when he saw Jin running toward him. The boy's face was pale. It's Hai, Jin gasped. They got her. Come quickly. They found Hai in the nurse's office. Her skin was gray, her breathing shallow. The nurse looked worried. What happened? Jun demanded. Some kind of shock to her system, the nurse said. I've called for medical transport. Hai's eyes fluttered open when she heard Jun's voice. My water bottle, she whispered. They put something in it. Jin examined the bottle. Some kind of alien medical tech. Reaper posed. Jun's soldier training took over. He checked Hai's pupils, her pulse. Then he pulled a small military medkit from his jacket. Standard counter-agent, he explained, pressing a small device to Hai's arm. For alien bioweapons. Color slowly returned to Hai's face. How did you know? I've seen this before, on the battlefield. Later, Jun confronted Principal Du in his office. He slammed down a tablet showing evidence of the bullying. The hacked locker. The drugged water bottle. This has gone beyond bullying, Jun said. This is assault, with military-grade alien tech. Principal Du barely glanced at the evidence. These are serious accusations, Lieutenant Park, against the children of very important people. Children who are putting other students in the hospital. Principal Du leaned back in his chair. You don't understand the New World Order, soldier. Some fights can't be won with your military heroics. What does that mean? The principal's eyes darted to a photo on his wall. Jun followed his gaze. The photo showed Principal Du shaking hands with a tall, stern-looking man. Behind them was the Nova Defense Corp logo. That's Ta's father, Jun said. Mr. Han. He's the largest employer in town, the largest donor to this school. And what? Principal Du lowered his voice. He has friends, powerful friends. In the military. In the government. People who look the other way when certain technologies go missing. He's blackmailing you, Jun realized. Principal Du said nothing, but his silence was answer enough. That night, Jun sat in his parents' living room, staring at the dark screen of his tablet. The day's events played in his mind. Nari's humiliation, Hai's pale face, Principal Du's fear. His wristcom beeped. An anonymous message. Access code, Echo 79 Delta. Military code, high security clearance. Curious, Jun entered it into his tablet. The screen lit up with video footage, a private office, expensive furniture. Mr. Han sat behind a desk, speaking to shadowy figures. The technology is ready, Han was saying. Tested and proven effective on the subjects. And the side effects? Asked a voice. Not human. The translator gave it a metallic quality. Minimal. The subjects show increased aggression, but that's manageable. Jun felt cold. The subjects Han spoke of had to be the teenagers, his own son included. The shadowy figure leaned forward. Brief light revealed features that were almost human, but wrong somehow. Alien. We will pay the agreed price, the alien said, once full demonstration is complete. Jun stared at the screen in shock. Han wasn't just dealing in stolen alien tech. He was selling to the enemy. The message ended with a second code. The location, a time, and a name. Colonel Hannah Kim. The game had just changed dramatically. Jun called an emergency meeting that night. His small alliance gathered in Mr. Sun's classroom after curfew. The science teacher had given them access, understanding the urgency. What I'm about to show you changes everything, Jun said. He played the video of Han meeting with the alien. Silence fell when it ended. Nari's face had gone pale. Jin looked sick. Bo's eyes were wide with shock. Hai, still weak from the attack, simply nodded as if confirming something she had already suspected. Han is selling tech to the Kryvax, she said. The same aliens who destroyed my home world. Not just selling tech, Jun added. He's testing it on teenagers first, on his own son. That's why they've been getting worse, Nari said. More violent, more reckless. It's not just them being bullies. They're being affected by the tech. Jin studied the footage. That explains the chemical structure I found in Hai's water. It wasn't just to make her sick. It was to test how her body would react to the alien compound. We need to stop them, Bo said quietly. But how? If Principal Du won't help, who will? Jun stood up straight, his military bearing taking over. We need a plan, not just to stop the bullying, but to expose Han's operation. He walked to the whiteboard and began drawing. 3 clear phases emerged. First, we gather evidence, not just of the bullying, but of Han's meetings with the Kryvax. We need proof that can't be ignored or covered up. I can help with that, Mr. Sun said from the doorway. I still have friends in the school board, people who aren't on Han's payroll. Jun nodded. Good. Second, we need to neutralize their tech advantage. Jin grinned. I've been working on something. He pulled out small devices from his backpack. Countermeasures. This one creates a localized EMP that should fry Ta's reflex enhancers. This one jams Suk's sensory inputs. And this one. He held up a small patch. This disrupts the energy flow to Da's strength amplifiers. Perfect, Jun said, but we need to be careful. If the alien tech is bonded to their systems, disabling it could hurt them. They didn't care about hurting Hai, Nari muttered. We're better than them, Jun said firmly. We won't stoop to their level. What's the third phase? Bo asked. The trap, Jun said. We need to corner Han and get him to confess. And for that, we need someone he won't suspect. All eyes turned to Nari. No, Jun said immediately. Too dangerous. It has to be me. Nari insisted. Han knows you're onto him. He knows about Jin and the others, but he might still see me as just a victim. just your weak little sister." June didn't like it, but he knew she was right. "You'll have backup. The whole time." "I know," Mary said. "I trust you." June continued outlining the plan. Jin would handle the technical aspects, disrupting the alien tech when the time came. Haig would use her knowledge of Kryvax technology to identify key evidence. Bo, with his detailed observations, would predict the bullies' movements. Mr. Sun would rally trusted staff members to help when the moment came. "In war, I learned that superior force isn't always about weapons or numbers," June told them. "It's about positioning, timing, and will." As they discussed details, Neri received a message on her tablet. Her eyes widened. "What is it?" June asked. She showed him the screen. A simple message. "Need to talk. Alone. About my brother. Suk." "It's a trap," Jin said immediately. "Maybe," Neri replied. "Or maybe not. Suk looks tough, but sometimes I see something in her eyes. Like she's trapped too." "We could use this," Jun said slowly. "If Suk is willing to turn on her brother." "I'll meet her," Neri decided. "But not alone. Not completely." June nodded. "We'll adapt the plan. If Suk is genuinely wanting out, she could be our way into Han's inner circle." As they finalized details, Jun received another message. This one on his military channel. From Colonel Kim. "Arriving tomorrow. Be ready." Help was coming. But would it be in time? "The plan starts tomorrow," Jun told the group. "Get some rest. It might be our last quiet night for a while." None of them would sleep well, but all of them would be ready. The school assembly was the perfect opportunity. Every student in one place, all attention on the stage. Principal Du had announced a special presentation about technology safety. Ironic, considering what was really happening at Greenhill High. Jin's countermeasure devices were in place. Tiny, nearly invisible disruptors attached to the underside of seats where Ta, Dai, and Suk always sat during assemblies. Bo's careful observations had made this possible. "Ready?" Jun asked through the small communicator in his ear. He stood at the back of the auditorium, watching. "Ready," came Jin's voice. "In position," said Hai. "Targets entering now," reported Bo. Tai, Dai, and Suk swaggered into the auditorium. As predicted, they took their usual seats in the back row, away from teachers' eyes. Taz's wrist device glowed blue beneath his sleeve. Day's neck showed the faint lines of his implants. Suk's eyes constantly scanned the room, her enhanced senses taking in everything. Principal Du began his speech about responsible technology use. The irony was not lost on Jun's team. "Now," Jun whispered. Jin activated the devices remotely. Nothing dramatic happened that would have drawn too much attention. But Tai suddenly frowned, tapping his wrist device. Dai shifted uncomfortably in his seat. Suk winced and put a hand to her ear. Phase 1 complete. Their tech advantages were temporarily neutralized. When the assembly ended, students filed out. Tai and his gang stayed behind, looking confused and angry. Tai hit his wrist device repeatedly, trying to get it working again. "Something's wrong," Dai said, his voice unusually loud without his enhancements regulating it. "Someone did this," Ta hissed. "Someone messed with our tech." His eyes found Nari in the crowd. His face twisted with rage. "You," he snarled. "Your brother put you up to this." He lunged toward her, but without his reflex enhancers, he moved at normal human speed. Nari easily stepped aside. "What's wrong, Ta?" she asked coolly. "Feeling a little slow today." Tay's face reddened. "Get her." Day moved forward, but without his strength amplifiers, he was just a teenager with an attitude. Not nearly as threatening. What happened next was exactly as Jun had planned. Tai and Dai cornered Jin after school, behind the gym. The perfect spot for a beating, or so they thought. "You did something to our tech," Tai accused, pushing Jin against the wall. "Fix it now." Jin smiled calmly. "I think you should let me go." "Or what?" Dai sneered. or you'll have to explain to Colonel Hannah Kim why you're assaulting a student while wearing stolen military technology." Ta laughed. "There's no colonel here." "Actually, there is." The voice came from behind them. A woman in a crisp military uniform stepped around the corner. Colonel Kim's face was stern, her eyes sharp and observant. June stepped out from the shadows on the other side. "Bad timing, Ta." Tae's confidence faltered. "This isn't what it looks like." "It looks like assault to me," Colonel Kim said, "and illegal possession of military-grade alien technology." Tae tried to run. Without thinking, Jun moved to intercept him. Years of battle training took over. In one smooth motion, he sidestepped Tae's clumsy charge and used the boy's momentum to flip him onto his back. Tae attacked next, swinging wildly at Jun. Without his enhanced reflexes, his movements seemed painfully slow to Jun. The veteran caught Ta's fist mid-swing and twisted, forcing the bully to his knees. "You think alien tech makes you powerful?" Jun asked calmly as Tai struggled against his hold. "I fought actual aliens with nothing but human ingenuity and courage. You're playing with toys you don't understand." Colonel Kim walked forward, her eyes on the devices visible on Ta's wrist and Tae's neck. Stolen Kryvax technology, modified for human use. "Very interesting." She pulled out a scanner and documented everything while Jun held the boys in place. "Where's Suk?" Jun suddenly realized the girl wasn't with them. "Here." Everyone turned. Nari stood at the corner of the building. Behind her was Suk, looking smaller somehow, less threatening. "She wants to talk," Nari said. Later, in an empty classroom, Suk told them everything. "My brother doesn't know what my father is really doing," she said quietly. "None of us did. We just thought the tech made us special. Better." She looked at Jun with pleading eyes. "I want out. I'll help you bring down my father and Ta. Just promise you'll protect me when it's over." Phase 2 was complete. They had a way inside Han's operation. The real battle was about to begin. Suk's help proved invaluable. She knew all the security codes to her father's office at Nova Defense Corp. She knew which computers held the most damaging files. She even knew the schedule of the security guards. "My father never thought I was paying attention," she explained as she led Jun and Colonel Kim through a side entrance that night. "He always saw me as just a silly girl playing with his gifts." The building was mostly empty. A few night workers moved in distant corridors. Security cameras watched, but Jin had hacked their feed, looping old footage from the previous night. "His main office is on the top floor," Suk whispered. They took the service elevator up. Colonel Kim checked her weapon. Standard military issue, but loaded with special EMP rounds that would disable tech without killing humans. "Remember," she told Jun, "we need evidence, hard proof that Han is selling to the Kryvax." Jun nodded. His military training had taught him to stay focused on the mission. Han's office was large and luxurious. One wall was made entirely of glass, overlooking the town. The opposite wall displayed weapons and tech, trophies from his business deals. "The computer," Suk said, pointing. "The password is my birthday." Colonel Kim accessed the system while Jun stood guard. Suk hung back near the door, nervous and pale. "I've got something," Colonel Kim said after a few minutes. "Files on test subjects." The screen showed pictures of teenagers. Tad, Dai, and Suk were there. But so were dozens of others from schools all over the region. "He's been testing the tech on kids everywhere," Jun said, disgusted. "Not just testing," Colonel Kim replied, opening more files. "Look at these results. Increased aggression, dependency, brain chemistry changes." Suk's voice was small. "What does that mean?" Colonel Kim's face was grim. "It means the alien tech isn't just enhancing your abilities. It's changing your minds, making you more violent, more controlled. Like slaves," Jun said, "or soldiers." A video file opened automatically. Han's face appeared, speaking directly to the camera. "Phase 3 testing complete. The neural bonding process works perfectly. Once attached, the tech creates physical dependency within 72 hours. Subjects show increased aggression and decreased empathy, ideal for combat situations. Side effects include heightened loyalty to authority figures and reduced independent thinking. Jun felt sick. He's creating super soldiers for the Kryvax. Worse, Colonel Kim said. Read this. A document showed the sale terms. Han wasn't just selling the technology. He was preparing to hand over the test subjects themselves, the teenagers with the implants. They're building a human army to fight for them, Jun realized. Using our own children. Suk gasped. My father was going to sell us to the aliens. Along with every other kid he implanted with the tech, Colonel Kim confirmed. The Kryvax wouldn't have to invade Earth. They'd have humans doing it for them, controlled by their technology. Download everything, Jun said urgently. We need to. Need to what, Lieutenant Park? The voice came from the doorway. Han stood there, flanked by 2 security guards. Both wore the same alien tech that Tai and his friends had used, but more advanced versions. Suk, Han said coldly. I'm disappointed. Suk stepped back, fear in her eyes. Father, how could you? Your own children. Han laughed. You think I care about you or your brother? You were test subjects, successful ones, I might add. Jun moved between Han and the others. It's over, Han. We have everything. The sales to the Kryvax. The human testing. All of it. Over. Han smiled. You have no idea what's truly happening, soldier. This war isn't what you think. Earth is losing. The Kryvax offered me a place in their new world order. All I had to do was provide them with the perfect soldiers, human bodies with minds they could control. He gestured to the guards. Take them. The guards moved with inhuman speed, but Colonel Kim was faster. Her EMP gun fired twice, sending the guards crashing to the floor as their tech shorted out. Han didn't look concerned. You used children, your own son, as lab rats, Jun said, disgusted. Han laughed coldly. War creates opportunities for those bold enough to seize them. These kids will be enhanced beyond human limitations, the next evolution of our species. The next slaves, you mean, Jun countered. More security guards appeared in the hallway. Too many to fight. Run, Colonel Kim shouted. They fled through a side door as alarms blared throughout the building. Colonel Kim transmitted the files to military headquarters as they ran. Even if they were caught, the evidence would get out. They made it to the parking lot, but found it surrounded by security vehicles. Han's voice came over the speakers. You can't escape, and soon, neither will your friends of the school. Jun's blood ran cold. Nary. The others. Colonel Kim grabbed his arm. We need to warn them. Now. As they raced toward Green Hill High, Jun knew the final confrontation was coming. And this time, everything was at stake. Green Hill High stood dark and silent against the night sky. But Jun knew it wasn't empty. His wristcom had picked up an emergency signal from Jin. Something was wrong. They're in the basement, Jun told Colonel Kim as they approached the school. That's where the signal is coming from. The basement. Jun's heart beat faster. That place held the worst memories of his school days. It was where he had been beaten so badly he had decided to enlist the very next day. Han's security team is right behind us, Colonel Kim warned. 5 minutes, maybe less. Then we hurry. They entered through a side door that Mr. Sun had left unlocked for them. The hallways were dark, lit only by emergency lights. They moved quickly, weapons ready. The basement door was open. Voices echoed up the stairs. Just let her go, Ta, came Jin's voice. This isn't about her. It's about all of you. Ta shouted back. His voice sounded strange. Strained. You ruined everything. Jun and Colonel Kim crept down the stairs. The scene below made Jun's blood freeze. Ta stood in the center of the room. His wrist device was glowing brighter than before, pulsing with alien energy. The veins in his arms and neck glowed with the same blue light. The tech was spreading through his body. Day was there too, looking sick. The implants under his skin were clearly visible now, pushing out against his flesh like parasites. Between them stood Neri. Ta held her by the arm. Jin, Hai, and Bo were pressed against the far wall, unable to help. "Stay back!" Tae yelled when he saw Jun, "or I'll break her arm." "Ta," Jun said calmly, lowering his weapon. "You need help. The tech is taking over your system." "Taking over?" Ta laughed wildly. "It's making me better, stronger. It's killing you," Colonel Kim said. "Look at Da." Da had slumped to the floor, shaking. The implants were visibly moving under his skin. "Your father lied to you," Jum continued, taking a step closer. "He was testing the tech on you, planning to sell you to the Kryvax. You think you're so special because you fought in a war." Ta spat, alien tech visibly pulsing beneath his skin. "You were nothing here. Nothing." Jum kept his voice steady. "I was always something, Ta. I just didn't know it yet. And so are you, beneath whatever your father put inside you." He took another careful step. "I have proof. Let me show you." He slowly raised his tablet, showing Ta the video of his father speaking about the test subjects. Tae's eyes widened in confusion. He wouldn't. He couldn't. The moment of distraction was all they needed. Suk, who had crept in behind them, rushed forward and pulled Neri away from her brother. "Tai, it's true," Suk said. "Father was using all of us." Tai roared in anger and pain. The tech was spreading faster now, blue lines crawling up his neck toward his face. He charged at Jun blindly. Jun didn't strike back. Instead, he used the conflict resolution techniques he had learned in post-battle scenarios. He deflected Ta's wild swings, speaking calmly all the while. "This isn't you, Ta. It's the tech. Fight it." "I can't," Ta gasped. "It hurts to fight it." "We can help you," Jun promised. "All of you." Colonel Kim approached with a medical device. "This will temporarily disable the neural connections. It will hurt, but it will stop the spread." Ta looked at Dae, who was getting worse by the second. Then at his sister, who nodded encouragingly. "Do it," he whispered. Outside, they heard vehicles approaching. Han's security team had arrived. "Colonel," Jin called, pointing to his tablet. "The files you sent. They're all over the news now. Military police are on their way to arrest Han." Weeks later, Green Hill High was a different place, with Principal Du resigned and Mr. Sun as acting administrator. The school had implemented new programs to help students recover from the trauma of recent events. Tai, Dai, and the other affected students were in a military medical facility, undergoing treatment to remove the alien tech from their systems. It would be a long process, but doctors were hopeful. Before returning to his unit, Jun visited the school one last time. He spoke to an assembly of students. "The real war isn't just against aliens," he told them. "It's fighting for our humanity, even when, especially when, it would be easier to become monsters ourselves." As he left, he saw Neri walking confidently down the hallway with a diverse group of friends, including a recovering Suk. No fear in her eyes. No need to look over her shoulder. On the transport ship back to Outpost Sigma 7, Jun received a message from Colonel Kim about a new threat emerging in another system. More alien tech, more human collaborators. He looked back at Earth one more time before stepping into his future. The battle for humanity continued on multiple fronts. But this one, at least, he had won.